1, 2, 3. Recording.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our friends at Pixel Fire Marketing. I'm Sean Watson, and this is...
I'm Amy Watson.
And we are Mo Valley Productions. And we're going to let Dan, Raina, and Angela take turns introducing themselves and what role they play at Pixel Fire Marketing. So we'll start in my upper left corner with Angela.
All right. Hello, everyone. Angela Cheney with Pixel Fire Marketing. I'm one of the partners and helped found the organization with Dan. And I'm in charge of content marketing. So I'm a writer. I've had over 20 years of experience with professional content writing. And so I write the blogs, I write the website content. We've worked on books for clients before, newsletters. I oversee the social media posts to make sure those are written well. So anything that's the written word, as well as, some scripts for video, I work on those too. So anything that's the written word, I'm kind of in charge of that, as well as building the business.
You can show us your fingers. See.
There they are. There's the money makers. Good job. Awesome.
All right. Next, it's our friend Raina.
Well, hello. How are you guys?
We're good.
We are swell.
I'm Raina Garcia. I'm with Pixel Fire Marketing. I joined the team in 2016. We partnered because they needed some of my skills. I do web design and I have a creative background in branding and things like that. So together we all kind of complete each other. And I'll just leave it at that.
Beautiful.
And last but not least, we're going to pick on Dan.
Uh-oh. I'm Dan DeSivey with Pixel Fire, one of the founders, and my role is sales and strategy. So I come up with all the programs that we use, the products, if you will, and how to do things and what we do and why we do it.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
But I couldn't do it without Angie and Raina because they're the ones that actually make it go. Same with the rest of our team. If it wasn't for Tasia, Sarah, and Maisie, we wouldn't go as far as we are.
Yeah, we have an awesome team.
Wonderful.
And you have a security guard, Mabel?
She hasn't been in the office for a while.
I might bring her in tomorrow. We'll see. See how this work thing goes.
Well, it sounds like Dan had it under control yesterday, watching 3 movies, a couple of
Yeah, working from my armchair with my laptop.
Nice. All right. Well,
not as good as today though, with the margaritas and the burrito envy and
cheers.
Cheers.
Salud, everybody.
Good. Yes. We have our salsa and chips too.
There you go.
Nice. I got my taco piñata.
Does it have tacos inside of it?
Not yet.
Nice.
That'd be a good use for it.
Wouldn't it? Why have a piñata that doesn't have tacos in it?
Right. All right. So we got your introductions, who you are, and what role you guys play. Now, how was Pixel Fire Marketing formed?
It's a good question, huh? Well, I guess I'll start with the beginning where about a little over 6 years ago, I started out by myself and quickly learned that if you're going to do search engine optimization, you need great quality content. And I needed somebody to write some content for me. And Angie and I were in the same B&I group, and we started talking about how we could possibly work together because she's an awesome writer, published author, done editing for a business magazine for years. So, we started talking more about how we could work together. And a year later, we formed eSpark Media and kind of started rolling from there. And a year and a half later or so, we had invited Raina on board too, because we needed to do some website work because the websites we were creating were just templated things and wasn't really my passion to do. And yet we couldn't do SEO without having a good website. So we kind of needed that. And then we just kept growing. And then when was that? Last year or 2 years ago? I guess it was. It's almost been 2 years now. We did a brand change. And we helped the West O Chamber change from Western Douglas County Chamber of Commerce to West O Chamber, and we started looking at our own logo for East Bark. And we started throwing names at the board as we were building the logo. We're like, maybe we can take a look.
That board behind Rena right there?
No, it was actually a different one.
Oh, okay.
We have multiples, so. And it wasn't this one either.
This was,
one over by
this was actually like a big pad and then a marker, and we were just like writing stuff out. Yeah.
They had some great ideas and not so great ideas as well. But
the test was Dan had to pretend to answer the phone, and if he felt comfortable answering the phone that way, that was the one we were going to use.
Yeah, and if I said, "Hey, this is Dan with Sassy Squirrel Marketing," it just
like Sassy Squirrel.
That one didn't make it.
Nope.
No.
All right, so that's still available.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But we started talking about Facebook pixels, and then we started. The more we kind of thought about pixels, and then we started talking about the evolution of Spark, the fire. It all kind of came together.
Nice.
That's kind of how we did it. I don't know, Angie, Raina, give your takes.
I think that's beautiful.
Why did you come to work with me? Why did you take me up on my ass? I don't want to tell people that.
I don't know.
I needed a
Mention
job.
that every day, right?
How about you, Ange?
Well, he got me at the right time. And we built a,
He was drunk. No.
well, always the right time. We had developed a relationship through BNI and respected each other. We'd worked together, kind of going both ways because he'd advertised with the magazine. So he was a client of mine for a while. And then when I stopped writing for the magazine and was just doing sales, that's when I started to write for him because I still wanted to write, just not for the magazine anymore. And so kind of started that way. And then when it was time for me to make my exit from my previous job, I remember doing it I had this whole big plan of how I was going to leave. And of course, best laid plans never happened. And it was one of those, I can't take it anymore. I'm crying in the parking lot. I quit. And my next call was to Dan. I just quit. And he said, let's go. And we just went. So it's not how I would encourage others to start a business. It's really the seat of our pants. But it led us to here. So I have
5 years later.
zero regrets about that. It was a huge learning experience, and it's been really gratifying to get to this place where we are.
Awesome. So let's pretend we're a new client. We just started our business.
Oh, we did?
Brand spanking new. And we don't even have a name or anything that we're narrowed down to yet. Website, nothing. If we come to you guys, what happens?
So typically what we do is we start with we want to meet you and get to know you and get a feel for who you are. And then we also have a brand development questionnaire that kind of helps us really dig a little deeper. And it helps us kind of pull out some words and things that are more visual or just kind of the essence of your company. Because the brand is, what you eat, sleep, speak, smell, touch, all that kind of stuff. So we try to get that out of you. And then we do some brainstorming internally. We narrow it down. We'll present it to the client. And then there might be a couple rounds there. We do the same thing with taglines as well. So whether it's company name, the tagline, we kind of do a similar process. Then from that stage, we'll do the logo if the client likes. And then we do the same thing. So we have 3 designers. We each do, so I'm one of them, and then Sarah and Tasia. And we each do a different option or a couple options so that they're completely different. So we kind of touch different areas. And then we present that to the client. And what was kind of fun is this last logo that we did, it ended up kind of morphing into a combination of the 3 of our design. It was the first one that happened that way. And I just think that's so cool. And we always have so much fun, kind of collaborating, hearing each other's ideas. and, concepts behind it and everything like that. It's a lot of fun. And then from there, if we're doing a website, that's probably the next step. So we kind of start through that process, and there's some discovery there as well. And then there's design and then creation. And then a lot of times either simultaneously or just after the website's launched, we do the social campaigns, which I'll defer to Dan for that.
Well, we want to make sure we're doing what's best for your company. So we want, because we're striving to be your marketing partner. We don't want to be just a provider. We want to say, here's options A, B, and C. Pick which one thing you think you fit in. We want to work with you and your goals and what are you trying to accomplish, so we can find the right pieces for you. Do we need to work on Facebook? Is it LinkedIn, Instagram? What channel is going to be the right to get in front of your audience? Who's the ideal audience and how can we get in front of them and bring them to you so you can get in front of them? We want to do pull marketing, not push. So basically, how can we build your audience with your ideal customer? How can they get to know you, like you, and trust you, and then start doing business with you? So once we get those identified, and we're working on that through the brand process as well, then we start with, okay, let's start building out those channels. Let's start doing some helpful, informative, entertaining information that really gets them to engage and to remember you, so you stay top of mind. If we're doing a website, what kind of content do we need? What kind of blogging do we need? Is there basically what content overall? It's just content marketing, right? I mean, you got to have constant content, and but it's got to look good. It's got to have that little bit of element, that thing that just gets you to actually engage with. So that's what we're striving for, is build that engagement and get that engagement equity for you, as Angie's book would put it.
Yeah, and through the whole process, Angela is like there for us. So if we're doing a name, she's a wordsmith, so she always comes up with creative ideas. Same thing with the taglines, or helps us make it grammatically correct as well. And then website content, website content, blogging. I mean, just like anything that we need, there's content all along the way too. So, I mean, the three of us working together just support each other perfectly.
Angela, do you ever take your, like say you're stuck on some wordage, do you take it to Dan and Raina to bounce ideas off them too? Let them?
No, it's helpful to bounce ideas off of everyone in the office, because I like the words that I like, and I fall back on those a lot, and sometimes they don't fit the client voice. And that's really the big thing with content throughout, their website, throughout their social media posts, their blogs, whatever they're doing. They've got to have a very distinct voice that is theirs and not mine. And so getting to know them, and a lot of the ways I do that is through Dan and Raina or Tasia and Sarah, because they're meeting with the client a lot more than I am. And just, how do they talk? Do they want to be, and that goes with the brand questionnaire too. We're finding all that out. Do you want to be more casual? Do you want to be more professional? Do you, how do you speak to your clients? And so, so usually when I can't come up with the right terms to use, it's because I haven't captured their voice yet. And that's when I'm reverting back to my voice. And that's when I know I'm in trouble, because it's not me that's telling their story. It's them telling their story. So usually when I get stuck like that, that's the time for me to go outside of my own head and talk to the people who've been talking to the client more, or to talk to the client themselves. What word would you use here? I don't want to use a word they would never say to a client because it won't come off as authentic. So just making sure that I've got that consistent and going outside of my own head. Being a writer, I like to, I use big sentences with a lot of commas. I've got my own style of writing, and leaving that behind and writing in someone else's voice is the most important part of this job.
That's one of Angie's true talents, is finding that voice and writing in it. She can write in so many different voices. It's an incredible talent. It really is.
How many voices are in your head at a time, Angela?
I will take the fifth.
Which voice was that? The second one.
That was the legal one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're getting some good, juicy stuff out of you guys. And you guys are sharing a lot of juicy stuff with the business community right now. It's great what you're doing to help out the local small businesses. And one of the things that you came up with was the the farm to market or farm direct to consumer concept. Can you speak a little more about that? Because I think that's a wonderful idea.
Well, I don't think we came up with it, but we're just putting it out there that if anybody, any farmers, ranchers, or even the meat packing plants themselves, or not packing plants, but small butchers, if they want to go direct to consumer, you know, we'd be happy to help them build out a website and sell online. I mean, it's just, you know, with the big plants are shutting down or having issues with COVID. So, you know, we're just giving them another outlet to sell their product. Why dispose of the animals when you could take care of it and sell it directly to the consumers that still want them? So, you know, the demand is high. So, you know, let's just find another way to fulfill it. We even found a resource through a company that actually supplies the equipment, if you will, to those slaughterhouses and the meat packing kind of industry. So, you know, they have resources of who to talk to. So if there's any farmers or ranchers, they're like, well, I have the animals and I want to sell online, but I can't get it processed. You know, we might be able to even have those resources for them if need be. But, you know, we're just trying to help out where we can. And if there's an opportunity there, great. If not, that's cool.
Awesome. Well, most important question I have of the day is this one. Margaritas, blended or on the rocks?
We just had this whole debate.
Yeah, we ordered margaritas today from Burrito Envy. They're fabulous. But Dan was in charge of the ordering, and I would say he's the least margarita aficionado of the group.
Pretty much. Wrong person to order.
And
I'm drinking a margarita.
He already had
it was
his.
potent.
I was like, I think we're out of ice. Should I go get some? He's like, oh no, I ordered a growler of the blended margarita. And I was like, I think half of it's going to be ice. And I was like, and then it's going to melt. And so we had this whole big debate on how it shouldn't be blended and should be on the
So
rock.
then I get there and I have to make sure to request that they're not blended. Then I find out it's strawberry.
I put my fruit in there.
Ask us what flavor we wanted.
You didn't specify, so
Second growler.
Pineapple is awesome.
I asked you what you wanted, and you gave me your burrito order. You didn't say what you wanted.
How many growlers do you currently have flowing through your office?
2 each.
We'll be over.
Strawberry, and we got a pineapple.
Davis.
But I think definitely on the rocks is my favorite always.
Me too.
The blended are too, I don't like them being that cold on my teeth.
Yeah.
I like blended.
I like the on the rocks.
I do both, but
Very good.
and Dan's like, doesn't matter. Got liquor in it, I'll drink
Shout
it.
out to Burrito Envy. Delicious.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome job.
Thank you, Burrito Envy.
Yeah, if you guys want to include them, send the information to me, and I'll include it in the post. And how can we get a hold of you guys? How can somebody reach out to you if they need help?
pixelfiremarketing.com or any social channel at pixelfiremktg. We had to get the abbreviation to make it fit. But yeah, we're happy to help. Our website, info at goes all three of us for an email address, or mine's Dan at Pixelfire Marketing. Numbers there. Reach out. We're happy to help.
Excellent. Any other last pieces of advice or anything else you guys want to say?
My only one would be, just like we're doing with the farm to table, is no matter what business you're in, you can usually find a way to capitalize on whatever's happening in the environment. So a lot of things are tough right now for a lot of different industries, but if you keep an open mind and think outside the box, you can often find opportunities to do different things or to grow in different ways. I know it's pushed us to really invest in, doing the online classes and a lot of the online marketing that we ourselves were not doing because we were so busy. So just want to encourage everyone to keep looking outside the box, find the silver lining, and find ways to turn this around to your advantage.
And then on top of that, we've also kind of been encouraging everybody to stay in the forefront no matter what you do. You can't put your marketing aside, whether you're marketing with us or not, or doing it yourself. You got to stay in the forefront. So whether you're doing a self video, or you're managing your own social media, or you're coming to us, we'll help you turn that around to make it work in this environment.
and post more on social media. Post more content. You're not doing enough. Guarantee it. No matter what business you are, you're not doing enough.
Mhm.
All right. Anything from you?
Cheers.
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 Cheers! It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
All right. Thank you guys
Yes,
for
thank
Pixel
you.
Fire Marketing, and thanks everyone for watching, and keep in touch and keep posting, and most of all, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron and Amy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.